And so here I am, and you're looking at David Icke, and you see the name I gave the video is basically the name David Icke gave the video. And I sort of want to do a reply at this because I know I'll get more people from the manosphere listening to me than I'm going to over in the Truther community. And I don't know how many people over here in the manosphere are willing to even look into this stuff. But this stuff is so real. And I understand this guy's an agent. Even if he says he ain't, we all know he is, okay? Okay, but that's beside the point. He tells you a lot of truth. You just got to be awake enough to know when he's not telling you the truth, when he's telling you deception. But here he's telling you 100% concrete truth straight across the board all the way. He really is. And I know that they've already started this here in the States, okay? But Britain's ahead of us on this. And I want to show you your future. You know, why am I going to show you your future? Because, see, I like this. Smart equals stupid. Well, that's our new smart today. Stupid people, dumb people are considered the smart people now. And smart people in today's society are considered the crazy quacks, the nut jobs, the conspiracy theorists, the tinfoil wearing hats. That's right, because everything once again is upside down on its head. And remember, I've told you everything in society has been completely reverted, flipped upside down, twisted inside out, okay? And so in reality, what you have is smart equals stupid in today's society. The ones who are calling themselves smart are actually the stupid. And the one that's being called stupid are actually the smart. No lie. The ones with intelligence are right here. The ones who claim to be intelligent and educated are right here. You know, stupid, smart. Okay, and if we turn it back up the way it's supposed to be, and we turn it back inside out from inside out that it was turned and upside down that it was turned, then the people that are calling themselves smart in today's society are indeed this stupid. But this is disaster waiting to happen. And he's correct because they've already started this in the United States. That's because this is an NWO agenda. We are moving at the last stages of NWO, and this is an NWO agenda. They put it in your face in movies. They got a movie with driverless cars. Everybody owns this driverless car that the computer, and he just tells them where he wants to go, and the car drives in there. Yes, and you think, no, that's future. No, this is them showing you what technology they already have. They always told you they were going to tell you what their plans was, and they do. That's what's fun. That's what's hilarious about it. They actually do tell the people. But because people are so stupid, they don't pick up on it. You know, and I hate to call people stupid, but they are. Because everybody's allowed this to become this when this could never be this. In a billion years, this could never be this. But in today's society, the new smart is actually this. Yep, this is what's running our world. This is what most, the majority, not all people, of course, this is the majority of mankind globally. This is what these people really are. Stupid. Okay? Stupid order followers for money. That's right. Stupid order followers, stupid truthers who are here because their ego's swollen, their ego's flying high and their head is swollen up, and they believe there's something they're not, and they think they're this. In today's society, the people who think they're this are actually this. No lie. There's not too many who think they're this that are actually that. The majority, and I mean the majority, who think they're this is actually this. But we're using smart and everything nowadays, ain't we? You got your smartphones. I don't believe in smartphones. I made sure I had a dumb phone. Yeah, that's right. I got a dumb phone. I don't want a smartphone. That's right. Most people in today's society Their smartphone is smarter than they are. It's pathetic, but let's listen to David Icke because he's going to deliver a very valuable message to the manosphere today. And everything he said is true. And everything that's happening over there will be happening here. And it's already started here. You just don't notice it because you're not paying attention.
Hello.
Hello.
You will have
You
noticed. Who couldn't have done? That almost everything today seems to be called smart. Smartphones, smart watches, smart meters, smart motorways in Britain. And this smart phenomenon is the before your eyes emergence of the smart grid. And the smart grid is designed to be based on everything being connected to the internet, including the human mind through AI and microchips, which people in Silicon Valley are openly talking about. And one of the major transformations of human society.
I'm going to stop it right there just for 1 second. Okay? Because this is mostly going to be about right here. That's right. And I know this is already happening in the U.S. right now. They are already designing and redoing our roadways to become smart roadways. Right under your nose. Okay? They sure are. And it's because most people don't pay attention. They don't realize that. But when he said Silicon Valley, he's talking California. He's talking Google, IBM, YouTube, Hewlett Packard, Silicon Valley, all the corporate monsters. Oh, that's right. All the people that are following their orders from the people at the top. Silicon Valley, California. That's what he's talking about. And yes, they are openly talking about microchipping you and AI. Yes, it will be controlling you. It will be controlling everybody. That's what it's about. It's about coat and killing, population reduction, and the ones we allow to live will be controlled, will be chipped. Microchipping your brain, hooked to the internet, that some jerk at the top can push buttons and tell you what to think, put thoughts in your head, and program what they want you to be. You basically become an android, right? You basically become a cyborg. Why do you think they made the movie Cyborg? They were showing you your future of how they're going to control you.
According to this smart grid, is going to be smart cars, which are driverless, driven by computer and AI, controlled by the smart grid. Not least so, the system always knows where you are, and it makes sure the computer will not allow you to drive where they don't want you to go. And all this is important background information to the smart motorways that are beginning to expand across Britain. Because it's about driverless cars, what is happening on the motorways, which I'll describe in a second, they have to find another excuse, because they don't want to tell you that's why it's happening. So they tell you it's to make the traffic run better. Well, why doesn't it then? No, it's about driverless cars. And transforming the motorway network of Britain for that phenomenon. So this is what's been going on. If you don't drive on a motorway, you might not have seen it, but of course most people do these days. But anyway, what's been happening since motorways began is there have been lanes of moving traffic And on the left-hand side has been something they call the hard shoulder, which is an emergency lane. If your car breaks down with fast-moving traffic behind you, you have the ability to get across, if you can, into the hard shoulder, which is an emergency lane which is empty. And so the moving traffic goes past you. It also means that emergency response vehicles, ambulances, fire engines, breakdown vehicles, can get to you either on the motorway or the running lanes of the motorway, or if there is a problem and all the traffic's building up and not moving on the live lanes, they can come up the hard shoulder, which is free, and they can get to you. They can get to someone who's had an accident, who needs urgent treatment. Ambulance crews can do that. If there's a fire, they can get fire engines there, and so on. Now, the word smart is another inversion. And invariably when you come across something smart, like a smart motorway, it's actually stupid. This is what they're doing. They've started it on a small scale, and now they are starting to play it out more and more. The motorway that I use when I go to the mainland from the Isle of Wight, the M27, they're turning parts of that now into a smart motorway. This is what it means. You ditch the hard shoulder, the emergency lane, and you make that a running lane. So instead of, say, 3 running lanes, you now have 4, the hard shoulder. This is what they're doing. They're ditching the hard shoulder, putting another running lane in there. And this means a number of things. If you are driving along and your car breaks down, you have got nowhere to go. You can't get off the running lanes because there is no alternative to the running lanes. And if something's coming behind you on a running lane, you cannot get across to the hard shoulder. And if the breakdown happens quick enough, bang, you're going to get hit, and this has happened. And from what I gather via people in Highways England who work for them, who are very aware of how dangerous all this is, that actually factored into smart motorways is that it will cause a certain number of deaths, but that's okay. That's factored into the equation. Because death is now an equation. Right? So
that's factored in. Population reduction.
The car or the vehicle or the bus will now stop in a running lane and not be able to escape to an emergency lane. If you don't get hit, then traffic will start building up behind you. Because the way that they are now responding to vehicles that break down with no escape lane is that they have these gantries across the motorways and they put a red X up and say you shouldn't go in that lane because there's a car broken down, okay, or bus broken down, whatever. And what that does then is vehicles have to go across from, say, 4 lanes into 3, and the traffic builds up. And if there's an accident, for instance, and the traffic stops, how are the emergency services going to get there? They would normally come up the hard shoulder to get to the point of the accident. The police would, the ambulance would, the fire officers if they were required. But now all the running lanes are all you have. So, without question, people have already died, A, because of no emergency lane hard shoulder to escape to, bang, and emergency services are now faced with a nightmare on smart motorways, stupid motorways, to get to the points of accidents. Like I say, no doubt people have died because ambulance crews couldn't get there quick enough when they could have been saved if they had. Now this is called smart, when it's utterly insane. And what they're doing now is expanding it. And they want the entire motorway network of Britain eventually to be smart, brackets insane, in this way to create the road environment for what they are planning, driverless cars. And the point is that these red crosses don't always go up in time. I mean, okay, you're going along in a car, say on the inside lane, which used to be the hard shoulder, and your car breaks down. Your electric stop or something, or you are struggling to keep the vehicle going for whatever reason.
I want you to pay attention to a word that he said there. Your electric stops. Okay? He could mean fire for electricity that keeps your motor firing. Okay? So the car dies. Or he could be talking about your electric car. Because that's another thing they're going to try to push on people is electric cars. Because this will inhibit your ability to travel long distances before you'd have to stop and charge up. Yeah, it's about control. Eventually, you're going to watch the combustible engine go out the door to electric. But that may still be a long way off until after they get NWO fully in place, but we're in the end stages. I'm going to give a guesstimate about 2035, 2040, in around that area, NWO is going to be complete because nobody's doing nothing to stop it.
And there's a truck coming behind you. Are we really being told that someone is going to stick that red cross on the gantry to get people across from that lane? In the period it takes that truck to hit the car? Insanity.
Exactly.
Of course there's going to be errors. There have been errors. And the more you play it out across the motorway network, because it's very small at the moment, but it's meant to be the whole thing, the more potential you have for errors, and therefore more deaths of innocent people simply because their vehicle's broken down.
That's population reduction.
We have had drivers jailed for fatal accidents in what was the hard shoulder. When it's the system that creates the environment, the situation, which allows this to happen.
That's right. Very important point. Remember this. The system, your governments, your leaders, your owners create the systems, create the problem, then give you the phony solution. Problem, reaction, solution. Problem created by system. Right? Reaction is people. Phony ass solution is what they offer you to the problem they created. And we all just idly sit back and say, okay, boss, yes, sir, boss.
But the system gets away scot-free. That's why I'm making this video. While the victims of the system take the consequences.
Exactly.
And what they've said is, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put little lay-bys every so often along the motorway, and people, if they're in trouble, they can go on them. Yeah. But that means you've got to break down where one of those is. And if you don't, you're buggered. My brother, Paul, has been repairing buses on the hard shoulders of motorways for nigh on 45 years. He travels the motorways every day. He's seen these smart motorways emerge. He's seen the consequences of them. He's an expert, both as a bus mechanic and on motorway driving and motorway dangers and consequences. And there's a video which I will put with this one on davidicke.com, which is an interview with Paul describing the consequences of smart motorways. But he sent me a summary of some of the consequences, and I'm going to read it to you, because this is what is not getting out there. While Highways England, the executive people who run it, I mean, not the rank and file people who work for it, they're appalled by it all. But the hierarchy are giving us total crap to justify disasters waiting to happen, and every time smart motorways are expanded, the chances of them happening subsequently increase. So this is what Paul said. I've spoken to 3 different Highways England traffic officers this week. One recently retired and 2 still active. And the information I have received blows wide open the numerous lies we are told about smart motorways and that they care about safety. Firstly, the current rollout is not a replication of the test area of the M42. One we already know is the spacing of the emergency refuges, what I talked about, these laybys, from half a mile apart to 1.5 miles apart. But I've also been informed that the camera coverage is well below that of the test area also, and that indeed there are numerous sections that have invisible blind spots. So how is a broken down vehicle going to be seen in those blind spots and a warning cross put up on the gantry? There is also the assertion that as soon as you break down, we know you are there. This is again totally untrue, Paul says. Yes, there are sensors implanted in the carriageway, but they are at very well-spaced intervals, generally under a gantry, and these are for monitoring traffic flow. There is no continuous sensor to detect a solitary stationary vehicle, as they would have us believe. So if you have a breakdown in a live carriageway, you are totally at the mercy of following traffic. The signage management has also deteriorated from an already very low bar of late to even lower. I have witnessed, he said, a plethora of signs either left on with nothing there, or signs lit advising of an incident and speed restriction only to find the next gantry blank, leaving everyone in limbo, as there is no confirmation whether the restriction is still in force or has ended. And this includes the red X, which now attracts points on your license, and a fine, and so delays and chaos ensue. Perhaps the most unbelievable story, though, is that I have heard today directly from two serving traffic officers, one of them said that he's never seen such, or in fact, both of them said they've never seen such a sea change in an organisation, talking about Highways England, which was once safety orientated, to one that now doesn't care, and I quite believe it as I witness it daily myself, and these are the people operating at the sharp end out on the motorway. So here you have employees of Highways England who are going out every day on the motorway and having to deal with situations, who are saying that Highways England has gone through a sea change in which safety has gone out of the window. Now, do we need any confirmation of that, given what I've just described about smart motorways and how unsafe they clearly are? But hey, good for driverless cars. I have also, Paul says, been informed that Highways England are now forcing single-person patrols instead of the double-manned patrols that have always been the norm. So, in addition to making the motorways more dangerous by the introduction of smart, they are now adding to the dangers by having single-person patrols, where one would look out for the other, so it's dangerous for the single person as well. Having also been informed, they have been told if they refuse the single-person operation, they face dismissal, something I am told the majority are against, but which, as always, some are prepared to do for the brownie points, as Paul says, which of course can be posted on their coffin. So not only are they determined to put motorists' lives at risk, they want to make it even more dangerous for their own staff. And he sent me another email then, Paul, about an experience he's had this week. Seen a situation this week where there had been an accident on the opposite side of the carriageway. Traffic was solid, and then way back down the queue was an ambulance with blue lights flashing, trying to fight its way through, creating the potential life-threatening delay. When I say they are a disaster, I mean it. There is no problem when everything is running smoothly. The disaster is when something goes wrong. Personally, I don't think we should be killing people for the crime of having a breakdown, which is what is happening, he says, time and time again. It's obvious that Highways England management are aware people have seen through the bullshit propaganda, he said, as their statements are getting more ludicrous by the week. And he quotes person I'm going to quote in a minute, who actually says that smart motorways are safer than they were before. The other thing they claim, Paul says, is that journeys are faster, which in reality they are not, when one minor breakdown that would have been on the hard shoulder, inconveniencing no one, now causes a major delay because it is now blocking a live lane. You get all these massive queues of traffic when someone breaks down in a live lane, which before they'd be in the hard shoulder emergency lane, they just carry on with their lives. Oh no, it is much quicker. If we surveyed the motoring public, he says, and asked the question, would you rather get somewhere just that tiny bit quicker, knowing that someone may be killed, or get there a little bit slower, knowing everyone is safe, what do you think the answer would be? And that is exactly what smart comes down to, even though the quicker journey is a fantasy in my experience, as they are overall actually slower most of the time, because there is always something going wrong, which creates chaos. So let's come to this guy, who must have spoken these words with his fingers crossed. Smart motorways without hard shoulders are safer, claims Highways England, despite emergency services and driving groups blasting them as dangerous, i.e. half a brain cell, and you'll see that they're dangerous. Matt Pates, the East Midlands Regional Traffic Operations Manager for Highways England, said hard shoulders are not a hospitable place for drivers to be, and smart motorways are as safe, if not safer, without them. So, a hard shoulder that is not a running lane and gives you the opportunity to escape the running lanes are not hospitable places. But breaking down in a running lane where there's nowhere to escape, well, that's okay. Just as safe. Maybe even safer. That's despite, the story says, recent cases of motorists being killed on sections of smart motorway, vehicle recovery operations stating that it puts their breakdown technicians in danger. Yeah, people like my brother. And police and ambulance services complaining they make it more difficult for them to attend emergencies. Apart from that, it's fine. It's definitely an upgrade. Mr. Pates was talking to the BBC as part of a new feature looking into smart motorways and how they work. He said the need for hard shoulders had become redundant because modern cars are now fitted with technology that warns the driver when they're about to break down, giving them plenty of time to take action and exit a motorway. This is the movement to driverless cars, the stepping stone. So why, when I was on the main lane last week, driving around, going on quite a few motorways, did I see broken down vehicles? On the hard shoulder where they existed. Because cars do break down, and buses break down, and trucks break down.
Exactly.
He argued, this guy, that vehicles are more reliable today than ever before, and the chances of suffering a reliability issue are at an all-time low. Try telling that to the families of the dead people who've died already on smart motorways, mate. Have a chat with them, see what they think about it. Instead of a permanent hard shoulder, existing smart motorways have emergency refuge areas every 1.55 miles, 2.5 kilometres, which some organisations say is not enough. Well, of course it's not enough, because if you break down between them, you've had it. They might as well not be there. The hard shoulder, always there, wherever you went. AA President Edmund King previously argued improving capacity and easing congestion on our motorways is the key for the economy, but not at the expense of safety. The gap between emergency refuge areas has been a major concern. There is currently more than 100 miles of smart motorways in England, with more due to be installed, and the idea is that they are everywhere. So, concerns regarding the safety of smart motorways were heightened by two deaths that took place on the same section of smart motorway on the M1 in Derbyshire. In March, 83-year-old Derek Jacobs died after his van came to a halt, possibly due to a mechanical problem, police said, on a section or motorway without a hard shoulder. Emergency services, another person too, just 6 months earlier, a woman was killed after a breakdown on the very same stretch of road. And as, of course, smart motorways expand across the network, you're going to see more and more of this. And one day, inevitably, there's going to be a catastrophe, say with a bus full of kids or something. And what are they going to say then? Because it's the agenda, because it's for driverless cars, not safety, they'll find some bullshit excuse to keep the agenda going, despite a catastrophe. But people will then realise that their lives mean nothing to Highways England hierarchy, and more to the point, that which controls that. Emergency services staff and vehicle recovery mechanics have also been critical of smart motorways, saying that they can make it difficult for them to respond to urgent calls and conduct their jobs safely. PC Stuart King from the Motorway Police said in a BBC interview, "We have to force our way through the small gaps between lorries, cars, and whereas before we would use the hard shoulder to get there much quicker, we are now stuck." Dave Paul, the motorway recovery mechanic, said the removal of hard shoulders puts him and fellow breakdown services providers at risk. Well, of course it does. And there was an example, just one, of a massive build-up of traffic because of a technical glitch in the computer system of the gantries. On June 20th, the system automatically closed 3 lanes on a stretch of motorway between Leicester and Nottingham for no reason, causing a huge jam for miles. So if you're going to get that level of system error, are we really supposed to believe that when someone breaks down, immediately that system is going to alert everybody in the time necessary. If something's coming behind you, immediately behind you, you haven't got any time. Bang. And this is a former police officer warning a council leader over safety concerns about the M27. This is the one across, comes across just outside Portsmouth. I use that all the time when I'm on the mainland. A former police officer has warned a council leader over safety concerns about the M27 smart motorway scheme, which is now being played out. Saw it the other day. After an MP's report called for the schemes to be stopped. Andy Snow has seen his fair share of accidents and close calls on roads and smart motorways during his time as an officer, and he told Fareham Borough Council leader, Councillor Sean Woodward, about his worries. The 61-year-old said, "I have experienced these accidents, and my colleague was nearly hit on the M60 smart motorway. These schemes, someone actually on the ground who's seen it, like my brother, these schemes are not safe and people will die. They are dying. The M27 at rush hour is extremely busy, and if you break down at 8:30 a.m. in the third lane, there is no hard shoulder, and it will be extremely dangerous, and I told Sean Woodward this previously," the police officer said. The £1.5 billion scheme by Highways England will see the hard shoulder from Junction 4 to Junction 11 for Fareham converted into an extra lane with technology to manage the flow of traffic and reduce congestion. So they claim. Tell the people caught in that jam between Leicester and Nottingham. It comes as a group of cross-party MPs say smart motorway schemes should be halted due to no hard shoulder, putting motorists and road workers at risk. Andy said, "I have gone back to Councillor Woodward with this, and he said he has spoken with Highways England and they are going ahead with the scheme. It seems ludicrous to me," said the police officer, "as this flies in the face of what people from government are saying. Mr. Snow said figures from the MP's report showed there were 16 crashes last year on the 100 miles of smart motorway all-lane running sections. While there were 29 similar crashes with vehicles parked on the hard shoulder on the entirety of the rest of the motorway network of 1,800 miles in England. So 16 in 100 miles compared with 29 in 1,800 miles. What are those figures going to be of motorway crashes when this smart motorway madness is played out across the entire network? It doesn't bear thinking about. And crazy as it is, the people behind it are not stupid enough not to know that. But they get their network prepared for driverless cars. So who gives a damn about the consequences? The police officer said this just shows in statistics how dangerous these roads are, and all M27 road users will know how many accidents we have had already, and this will only increase. And he talked about putting a price on human life. Now, of course, vehicles don't break down. Oh, they're fantastic now. Never see a breakdown. Well, here's a recent one. School bus bursts into flames as children forced to flee from the inferno. A group of school children were forced to flee from a bus after it burst into flames while travelling through Essex. 8 pupils from the South End High School for Girls were on board when the fire broke out on the A127 near Wickford. Dramatic pictures so the bus was completely destroyed in a blaze. All of the children were evacuated safely. And what would have happened had that bus been travelling down a smart motorway? How would the emergency services have got there? With all the traffic that would have built up from it. And what are the chances of the bus being hit from behind when it immediately stopped?
And what are the kids going to evacuate to in a smart lane? In a smart highway. You know what they're going to evacuate to? There ain't no shoulder, right? So they're going to evacuate into oncoming traffic. That's right. They may all get run over. Because it's much safer this way, you know.
You know, one of the great penny drops that allows you to see the world we live in is that authority and that which controls authority does not care about you.
Correct. You know, this is why I laugh at people that think that the government is here to protect them. They are they are this right here. Completely stupid. And today, in our world today, the new smart is actually this. And the ones that are actually really have intelligence are being called this. That's right. So the ones with intelligence are being called stupid. And the ones that are actually stupid are being called smart. Because as I said, it's upside down, inside out, completely backwards. Everything in society is. And don't kid yourself because he's talking about over in Britain and England. He's talking overseas. Don't kid yourself. They're already working on this here in America. You just haven't seen it yet. Don't worry, you will. It's an NWO agenda. And to the manosphere who don't understand why they're having all the problems they're having and why women act the way they are and what's going on, I've been screaming the root cause at you and screaming it and screaming it. And if you're too stupid to go look for yourself, then there is no helping you. We cannot help the dumb. We cannot help the stupid. There is no fixing stupid. Okay? You people that are stupid, you're not this. No, you're not. You never have been and never will be. When you're too lazy to look around you and see what's really going on and pay attention, then you're this. But anyhow, hey, to the manosphere, this is real. This guy did not lie to you. This is as real as that car you're climbing in to drive every day to go to work. It's as real as anything in your house that you touch. You can deny it until you're blue in the face, but this is what you have to look forward to. You sure do. And no, they do not care about your life. They never have and never will. Why would they? You even people in the manosphere, come on, this is the manosphere. Why would they care? Because the majority of you people in the manosphere don't care about nobody but yourself. You already know you don't care about nobody but yourself. You won't stand together to combat this problem that you're bitching about. No, you'll keep attacking each other and attacking each other because you don't have care, remember? Well, neither do your leaders who made you this way. They don't care about you. You're living in an illusion. I believe your damn government's here to defend you. What a joke. But anyhow, I want to show you this. I'm going to get out of here now. I've showed you enough. You got the gist of the picture. And yes, this is going on right here in America. Right under your nose. It's just overseas is a little bit ahead of it. But it's an NWO agenda. They've already started this construction over here. Right under your nose. And by the time you know and they announce it, they already have a bunch of roadways already built. Yeah, you won't know it until after it's already in your face. With that being said, I'm out of here. You have a good